Hi all, Bones here from BSA Bantams and welcome back to the workshop. Been away for a few weeks, had some wonderful time up in North Queensland with some old army mates of mine and a nice relax around at a resort. Came back, met up with a mate from the United Kingdom who I rode through India with last year. So we did a bike ride with a group of friends of mine, so 1,600 kilometres, so 1,000 miles in banana language. In this video, what we're going to be doing is casting. Just casting one component, and so I will show you what we're going to be up to and we'll get into it. Righto, so what I'm going to be casting is these fins. Now they're all done, and they were all done separately. So these are individual fins that have been stacked on. So this is a wide A engine, and the top four fins are machined off, and these have been shrunk fit onto the actual spigot after you've machined the fins off. Interestingly enough, to sleeve these engines out is a bit of a bugger because there's no wall thickness. You start taking the wall thickness out and all the fins drop off. So anyway, time to start prepping some sand and giving you an update on some of the casting stuff. So what I'm doing now is obviously wetting down my sand in prep. So this will take me a fair while just mixing it all up. So while I'm doing this, I'll just give you a quick update on the actual bikes. So both the race bikes, and yes there are two, have been pulled down and been sent off. All the frames and swing arms etc. have been pulled off, pulled apart and sent off to the sandblasters. So we're getting all that blasted, and hopefully he says I'll be back. What's today? Today's Saturday. He said I'll be having done by Tuesday, which will be really good. So I can get into getting those at least in primer. I asked him not to prime them. I'll do a epoxy primer on it. We do have the actual coloured paint for the bikes as well, so we'll be able to punch on through and keep that going. Me personally, I was doing some sort of consultancy work for the last year, a couple of days a week at a place where I used to work. So I finished up there, so I can concentrate more on the bikes, and I've got lots to do for the business as well. For Ozbanders, making parts and things like that. So we're doing that as well. What else? Wheels. Wheels have been done. They've been like, I've had alloy rims laced in with heavier gauge spokes. So and they're apparently done and on their way. So hopefully I should have those next week. So realistically, we could have rolling chassis together in the next 2 weeks. It should be really good. But at the moment, I'm just concentrating on building the engines. I'm trying to get an engine together to go away and get bored. So I've got to do the barrel first. So in order to do the barrel, I've got to do the fins and a few other things like the transfer caps. But we'll keep cracking on and we'll get all this done. Right, so I'm just going to do the test on my sand. So dive your hand in, squeeze it. You should get a clean break without it going crumbly. That's perfect. So I'll just go around and check each corner to make sure that my water content's all the way through my sand all right. Yeah, that's looking good. Right, time to get the pattern out. Start putting some moulding boxes together. So here's our 3D printed pattern. And you can see the boss underneath just here and the thickness of the fin. So I've just drilled a couple of little holes in the back, one bigger hole so I can wrap it when it's in the mold to release it, and a couple of little holes, couple of screws in, pull it out. Should be right. Let's start packing it. Right, not quite an overhead shot. I need some parting powder. I'll just grab that. Out of my box of tricks. Come back. Right, place, and I'll kick the camera. Beautiful. Place down flat. So this is just chalk. I'll get the air compressor, just give it a little dust. Oh, Levi's been fine. Beautiful. That'll do. I've been trying to organise a bit of a, like a Muslim bag to put the chalk in. So, God, this sounds bloody awful. So, while I'm doing this, I'll let you know what's happened. So, when I started all this casting stuff, I was contacted by a gentleman who's got his own YouTube channel called Old Foundryman. And I went to visit him in Melbourne. And what a wealth of knowledge, help, experience to be able to draw on. So I spent about 3 hours with him when we were on our way to Bendigo Swap Meet. He also kindly gave me some of his sand, which is far better than this crap. But I don't want to use it for this job. I will save it for the heads, which is going to be cast very, very soon. So a few other little tips and pointers he pointed out, as well as I took the pattern for the head up to him to have a look, and he just sort of nearly laughed and said, yeah, I'm going to have a bugger of a time doing that. But anyway, he still identified a few things on the head pattern that we could improve it on, and a couple of other things with venting that we could also improve it on. So I sort of go in with a bit more confidence, because I mean, really, I haven't been that far off. But I think the little things he pointed out might actually just help us do the job. But you'll see that when we, well, I don't know if it's going to be in this video, but if not, it'll be in the next one. You'll see how we go when we do the heads. I've got to prep out the sand a bit as well, just sieve it and do that sort of stuff. We'll keep going on this. Oh, well done. Good hand skills. Just going to give this a bit of a wrap, just to loosen it up. There it is. Just got a screw in here. Yeah, just got a little bit broken away there. A little bit broken away here. I probably haven't put enough, that's telling me I haven't put enough draw on my pattern, I reckon. Or the sand's a fraction dry. That's not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Right, I'm just going to tip that upside down and tip all the crumbs out of it. I'm not too worried about this edge either, because it's got to be a little bit of machine shoulder. Right, just give it a flip. Yes, a little bit rough, but I'm not too worried. So time to clip top bead on. And there's our first mould done. So I'll go ahead and make up the second one. It's good. Well, right there's the product that we're going to be melting down. And they are Bantam engine cases. So before these are absolutely stuffed with bearing surfaces flogged out and cracks through them and everything like that. So I've cut them up. And that's what the material we're going to use for these fins. And I'll show you how I cleaned them. And in here, we've had the bits I've cut up, cleaning in the dishwasher and prep to go into the crucible. Yep. You right to go? Yep. Excellent forward. Right, next one. Right down the bank. There we go. Get that on. Alright, as you saw, when we poured this one, I think the feeder's blocked, and anyway, we had a crack at just dumping it down the vent hole, which I don't think will work. I'd be very, very surprised if this comes out. But we'll open it up and have a look. Oh, I'll surprise myself. So I'll be very interested to see what the feeder. There we go. Yep, it must have had, you can see the granular part of it. The sand must have blocked it when I moved it, like bringing it out. Yeah, well that's full form, that's what I need. So that one's a winner, which is very good. And as you can see, that's the feeder there. It's obviously been sand blocked. It must have swept some sand in from the pouring cup. Something like that. Anyway, we'll have a look at the next one. And that's a good one as well. I've actually cast something that works. It's unbelievable. Oh, geez, and that pouring cup's a bit thin too. So there you go. So I'm pretty happy with that. So what we'll do now is start sieving the sand out, prepping it, and casting some more. but I finally had a win. This is a positive casting video now, not a video of failure. Good stuff. That's one. So you probably saw these two pours went a whole heap better than before, and we'll see how it goes, because this is Justin's first time at setting up a mould box. So 20 minutes time, we'll peel it open, we'll have another look. Hopefully our success rate continues, but it's looking good. They poured really well. So all right, Justy's opening up the box to see how he went. Yep, that's really good. Yep, that's really good. So the pour has worked well, unlike last time. We increased the metal temp a little bit, but that's come up great. We'll have a look for the next one. Yep. Yeah, that's really good. Geez, I'm happy with that. And there they are. God, 2 successes in one day. That's unbelievable. We might keep going if we're at this rate. Right, so from here, Justin's just emptying out the other box. What I do is I actually rake the sand out here on the concrete into a bit of a layer, spray a bit more water on it, because obviously the casting dries it out a bit, and then we go through the whole process again. But we'll have a look at how the next pour goes in just a sec. You right, mate?
Yep.
Yep. So there's the result of yesterday's casting. So we've cast 10 of those fins, so enough for 2 engines and a couple of spares in case I make a machining error. So now it is time to get them into the lathe and start machining them. So first part of the machining process is done. We're bored to size and we've just faced off. So now I will change the setup in the lathe to 3-jaw, change it from reverse jaws to the normal jaws so I can grip these on the inside, and we'll have a look at that in a second. So part of the reason for machining this is so I can run a dial indicator off this face, because I can't put this hard up against the jaws of the chuck, otherwise I'll get wobble. So I've got to have this running true. So the 3 dimensions I'm going to machine now are the outside diameter of this, the face of this, and the outside diameter here. So now, even though it's not critical, or as critical, these are all in relationship to the bore that I've already machined down to size. So we'll start machining. So we're just doing the facing cutout, one of the first ones. It's going well. So as you can probably see, I've changed my tool out to a high-speed tool. And I should have done it in the first place rather than trying to use a carbide tool, but it's coming off pretty well. The machine's nicely. And that's that side machined up and chamfered. So pretty happy. It's going really good. If you're wondering what the little dark patch is, that's just a bit of kerosene. When I'm machining, I've got a tin of kerosene and brush up there. I just give a little bit of a paint as a lubricant for the tool. Okay, so what I've done is I had to put in a little 5-inch chuck. And the reason for that is so the reverse jaws can grab hold of the boss that's on the back there. Now, I can't get it to grab onto that. And the reason for that is because I want to face, I'll just get it out of the way, I want to face that whole surface off in one hit. So I've dropped the speed down a bit because I was getting a little bit of chatter due to a high surface speed, because that's 6 inches, that's 150 mm diameter, 6 inches. So so it's going to be a little bit painstaking, not that much to come off to get it down to size. And I've got a nice chair I'm sitting on at the moment. So very happy, they're coming good. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video on a bit of casting and a bit of machining. Next videos will start to get interesting. We've got the transfer caps to cast. I won't machine them quite yet, but more importantly, the head. So this has been a little bit of my nemesis, this head. So I was actually looking at the pattern the other day, and there's an inherent flaw in it with the angle of a couple of the fins when it printed. I never picked up on it, I never really noticed it. So I was sort of, at the time I printed it, I was new to 3D printing. And anyway, we'll print another one and we'll see how we go, prep it, coat it with resin, polish, all that sort of stuff. But the head is getting close to having another crack. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if I don't put another video out before Christmas, have a very Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year. So from me at BSA Bantams, I'll see you later.